Hi there, I'm Candy Cannon Cosplay, or you may know me as Ami as well. This video is going to be a review. So there's an account that goes around Instagram, it's been quite popular for the past couple of years, the Kigu Stop. And of course they do a lot of different fandom apparel, so they're mostly famous for their crop sweaters, although they also do varsities, they've done swimsuits, they have done other sort of jackets and hoodies in general. They tend to stick to that, although I know they've done swimsuits and sportswear. There has been a lot of drama with them in the past of unfulfilled products, bad quality. I'm not going to get into that here, but I would recommend you definitely looking them up before ordering them. But I've got a couple of orders with me, and I do have a couple of pre-orders that are probably going to come way in the future, but I'll probably do a review for those as well. But I've always been curious about them for the past couple of years, and I've wanted to order from them, but until I've had a steady income I didn't want to spend the money because I'm in the UK and US shipping is very expensive. So it's only been recently, now that I have a full-time job, that I've been able to properly afford to be able to spare this money, even if just in case something goes wrong I can spare that money, because it isn't cheap, I'm going to be honest with you. So if I pick up a notebook, that's just me trying to make sure that I'm saying everything I want to say. So this is going to be a little review on the stuff that I got from the Kigu Stop. So let's go. Okay, so I've got 2 crop hoodies from them now. Originally I just ordered the toga crop hoodie because they had it in stock and I was wanting that sooner than later. Because we all know Toga is my queen, love her, and I have way too much of a merch haul of her. Sorry. Anyway, so I got a Toga crop hoodie. I got it in small because they're stroking my ego here. I very much fit into a small, though I think I definitely should size up a little because it's quite tight across my shoulders. So the second crop hoodie I actually got in a medium. All of my pre-orders are in smalls, but like they do fit me, it's just a little tight across here. One thing that I do notice with the Toga crop hoodie, and I've noticed that other people have as well when I've seen other reviews, is it's very short on the torso. So it does cover my chest, but I can imagine like stretching your arms up, you're probably going to find it slides up a bit. So it's making sure that you have that space. So even if you fit into a small, I'd size up a little, not only for the shoulders in case you've got broad shoulders like I do, and I'm not even that broad, but enough that sizing up would be handy. I'd also size up if only for the length of the torso. So I ordered it at the beginning of April. I'm pretty sure it was like the 8th of April that I bought it, and it got shipped on the 21st, I believe. It got shipped, and bear in mind this was just as COVID was hitting. Might have to blur that out, but this was just as stuff was going down, so I know that there was going to be quite a few delays, and there was over a month of delays. I was getting a bit concerned, and I know that the creator of the store isn't always so kindly receptive to people being concerned about where their purchases are, so I was hoping that I wouldn't have to get in touch with the creator, this owner of the store. Luckily it did arrive. It arrived on the 6th of June, so over a month later, but it arrived nonetheless, so I was very pleased because I was getting worried. It's actually pretty good quality, I have to say. So this is my Toga hoodie. All the edges were really nicely finished. I had to say that the print was really nice, but there were some problems. Bear in mind this was actually really good quality, like there's very few structural problems. I'd say most of the problems with this crop hoodie is actually to do with the print and things like that. So you may need to give me a moment because I've got to find each of these things, but I know I'll put in pictures as well because it'll be easier for me to show you the pictures that I got on camera. So with the Toga hoodie there are red stains on the inside. I don't think you can see them on this camera, but there's kind of red stains, luckily not so visible because you're wearing it, but nonetheless it does come off as stained. There are black spots in the red print as well. I think it's a printing error because there's a couple of black spots in the midst of the red, probably black ink, I would say. There's also quite a few printing errors, so if I hold this up, you can see the edge. And there is no seam here, so there's no reason for there to be that harsh edge. But nonetheless, there is one. Again, there's a lot of errors along the seams. I've noticed that with the other crop hoodie as well. So even over here, there's just underneath the armpit, a random blood sweat drop patch. Even in the sleeves, it's actually pretty decent. I'd say the quality is actually really good for this one. Apart from the printing errors, I don't have any problem with it. The hood is nicely big, so any wigs, like togas, buns, fit nice and easily in there. One other thing that I will say is that the thumb holes are absolutely tiny. I have very little hands. All my friends know this, my family. I have very tiny hands, but my thumbs won't even fit through there. I have to force my thumb through, and that's not really comfortable, but it doesn't bother me that much that I don't fit them. The whole jacket fits, and that's what matters really. But it is a very good quality jacket. I have to say it's quite thick as well. Wouldn't wear it during summer like it is in the UK right now. It's too hot. But it is a very nice thick material. It's very sturdy. I'd say that all the problems with this are literally just the printing. I've been rambling about it, but let me just give you a proper look. So here's the front. Flip that over, and then here's the back. So it has Bite Me on the back. The print on the back is really good. I didn't notice any problems really with the print on the back. I think there's a couple of gaps in the print, but nothing that's like major problems, nothing that I noticed. Out of the two, this is the really good quality one. The other crop hoodie that I have, I noticed a lot more problems with that are a lot more noticeable. Even the problems on this one, somebody looking at you wearing it wouldn't see it. So I wouldn't really find a huge problem with it, although the thing is, you're paying a lot of money. So most merch items, they're not cheap, but you're paying a lot of money for these. So I'd approximately say £55. I managed to get a little bit of a sale, but the shipping is where most of the money goes in. I'll probably put a little thing in here to say how much I paid exactly. If not, I'll put it in the description. But I'd say around about £50. On my other crop hoodie, I had a summer sale, so I paid 45-ish, so it was a little bit less. But the thing is, I had a customs charge on that, which was even more than what I saved, so it was kind of pointless. I may as well have not used the sale, because I had to pay it to the government anyway. So yeah, that's the toga hoodie. Everything's really good quality, I have to say. It's really sturdy, it's very thick. It's comfortable as well, I have to say. Other than the problems with the printing and it being a bit short, which I don't really find a problem, I think it's a pretty good jumper, although it is very costly. The other jumper, however, is the one where I think there's more problems with. Okay, so the second jumper I got was actually the Ladybug crop hoodie. It's the front, and then we have the back. I'm very short, so I can't see over everything, so forgive me. This one, I was actually kind of disappointed with, because again, I paid a lot of money, so it was about £45 with the sale, and then I had to pay about 17 to 20 in customs, so the sale was kind of pointless. I saved about a tenner on the sale, but had to pay nearly double it in customs, so I may as well have not used it. But the customs isn't of any fault of the seller, but I have to say that in general, her apparel is very expensive for what it is, so you definitely want the quality to be up to standard in that sense. And while I'm very happy with the toga crop hoodie, the Ladybug leaves a lot to be desired. So like I said, this is the front. What is different from the toga is that the edges are fraying. They're very much not finished. So you can see that I can pull at this and it's completely frayed, and it's the same along the whole edge of the front of the hoodie. Yet the top bit here is completely fine, like on the toga. It's just the decoration that they've left all peely. There's no edge. It's not properly sewn up, so it just keeps fraying. You're going to find that you're going to keep pulling bits off. like before. It's a very thick material, so it is a very good sturdy material. It seems to be the printing and all the decoration is where it leaves a lot to be desired. So on the ladybug printing is where you notice a lot more of the problems, because the thing is she has spots, so if the spots aren't finished, it's very obvious. So there's a lot on the sleeves where you just have half finished spots. Let me find where it has it a bit more obviously. Must be the other sleeve. So you notice that across the sleeves you'll find just unfinished spots. And although it's under the armpit, it's enough at the side of the arm that you're going to see it directly here, that it's missing quite a bit. And the print on the back has the same thing. There's a cut off here where I assume there's supposed to be another drip. And what I also noticed, which may show better in pictures, there seems to be a sort of ghost image on the back print. So what I mean by that is it likely was printed once and it didn't print very well. It got a bit fuzzy or wasn't dark enough, so they printed it again. So I don't know if you can see, but over here it's very fuzzy because there's actually a sort of double print. I'm not very picky. I'm very lucky in the sense of I do have a solid income, so I don't need to worry too much about my money, but for many people they do not have that income. So for such an expensive piece, I wouldn't have paid so much for this if I didn't have to. So even on the inside, you can see where it's kind of lazily put together. It's mostly the bit on the front that bothers me, because on the inside you can ignore it. As long as it's not bothering your skin, I can ignore it. But when it's on the front, you can see how kind of sloppy it is with all the fraying. This camera's being very nice to it and not showing unless I get it right up close that you can see all the fraying. But it's kind of disappointing because I was really excited to order from this store and the toga one was great. I was kind of umming and ahhing about getting this ladybug one, especially because of seeing the backstory of the Kigu stop, which again I won't get into here, but I recommend you looking up yourself. There's a couple of videos and which I recommend. I know that one person put up a full video. There are Instagram accounts of reviews, but I don't know if I trust them so much because I know that one of them definitely just started up as a hate account for the shop, and the other one does have reviews on it, but they're not very active. So I definitely say that the YouTube video, which again I'm probably going to link in the description because I found it a very handy video to have a look at when it comes to the backstory of what happened with the Kigu stop a couple years ago and even up to currently. It comes in handy just to look at, to know that you're very well, you know what you're going into when you order from them, because luckily I knew what I was getting into when I ordered from them. Otherwise I think I would have had a lot more stress. Okay, so here's the toga hoodie on. I'm going to be very quick with these bits of trying them on because, like I said, the fabric on these is very thick and it's very hot in the UK right now, so I am sweating. It's not attractive. So, like I said, it fits very well. I find it's a little bit, it looks loose here, but putting it on it's kind of tight around here and it's a bit tight around the chest. But again, I do fit into it. It's just a case of it's very short. So I'm up on my tiptoes right now. I can't really get much higher. So it's very short across the torso, but I'm somebody who's quite happy with shorter crops and crop tops, crop hoodies. So this doesn't bother me so much, but if you're somebody who doesn't like it not being able to cover this area, then you're going to find the toga one is shorter than most of the other crops. I've noticed that that's a very reoccurring thing with the people who have the toga crop, that it's shorter than the other ones of the same sort of sizing. It just seems that this variant is quite short. I like it, but... And that's the back. Overall, I like this one. This hoodie, I like it. I'd give it 10 out of 10. Well, I wouldn't give it a 10 out of 10, but I'd wear this one happily. I don't have that many complaints apart from a couple printing errors. Printing errors. It's too hot. It's too hot. But I'm going to leave it in because I'm lazy. So yeah, other than a couple of printing errors, I don't really have a problem with the toga crop hoodie. I'd happily wear this, and I have worn it before out. So it lasts well, and it's very comfy, it's very warm. So I'm going to take this off. And here's the ladybug one on. So again, I got this in a bigger size, so there's a bit more space. It's a bit longer on the torso, which I do appreciate. Again, I'm very short, but there we go. It comes down much closer to my belly button compared to my toga one, which I think was a bit more, I'd say, up here. So there's a good 2 inches difference between them, which isn't much for someone like me. I'm not really too fussed. I'm quite confident in my body, but compared to other people, they might have more of a problem with it. So I'd definitely say size up on the toga one. The labia one, definitely more space, definitely much comfier. I'm happy I got a medium in this one. Like the other one, the thumb holes are tiny. I can't actually get my thumb through, and if I did, I'm pretty sure it's going to cut off circulation quite quickly. You could always cut them bigger and like pull them until they're a much more comfortable size. I would have thought they'd be a bit bigger anyway from the size difference, but that's how it be. So again, as you can see, this is where you can see all the fraying, all the peeling edges. So I can literally just pull at this and it comes off, which I don't appreciate for how much I paid for it. I'm going to put a quick little thing. I do like the Kigu Stops designs. I do like them. Like I said, I've got other pre-orders, which I am excited for, and I'll probably do a review on those because I'm hoping that they'll be nice. But if I show you, there's sort of where all the unfinished ones are. They're all underneath the armpit. So there's like just a weird section here, which you're probably going to find there's a lot of errors. Ignore my double chin. This isn't a very good angle for me. Cosplay realness, you know. But either way, there's going to be a lot of errors in this area, it seems. And it's common on the other side as well. It's just where all the printing seems to have cut off. Whether it's how they place the fabric when printing, or I don't know. I don't do that stuff. But either way, there's the printing errors. I'm no expert when it comes to this. I just say what I see and whether I like it or not. And I have to say, I like the overall aesthetic of this hoodie, but I don't like the quality of it so much because I find I just keep picking at the edge because I can grab it, and I don't like that. Compared to this triangle here, which they have on most of their hoodies, I believe. This bit is always finished perfectly. There's no raw edge that's going to peel up or fray, but it seems that the decoration on the front, and it's just that triangle, this bottom bit here is perfectly fine. It's very well finished, just like the top of the hoodie. It's just this one edge at the front, this one V shape that's very frayed. So, okay, so I'm going to try and end this very quickly before I start melting. Because it's, like I said, it's very hot in the UK right now and I'm dying and I want to put my fan back on. So yeah, overall I'd say the quality is a bit hit and miss. So my toga one is great, apart from a couple of the printing errors. I'd say that this one leaves a lot to be desired when it comes to the printing errors being much more noticeable and more obvious, and again the sewing problems on the front of the crop hoodie, again because it's fraying, it leaves a lot to be desired. And the thing is, especially for myself, I have to pay shipping, which is quite expensive from America. You want what you pay for, and these crop hoodies aren't really cheap when you think about it. Even with merch being more expensive, they're not the cheapest company to order from. So overall, I'd just make sure that you're well informed before ordering from companies, especially the Kigu Stop, because like I said, I'm not going to get into the drama and the backstory behind them, because that's not what I want my channel to be, but I definitely say to educate yourself on what happened. I know that there's a couple of Instagram accounts, like I vaguely mentioned. I wouldn't fully put my trust into them because I know that one of them started up as a full-on just hate account, so I don't really put much of a penny in on those. But there is actually a YouTube video, like I mentioned before, that I'll link into the description, which gives a good idea about what happened in the past with their Voltron Kigu crate, I believe it was, a couple years ago, which caused a kind of downhill spiral a little bit. They're still running, of course, but it caused a little bit of a downward spiral. It gives you more of an insight of how she acts as well. So it's definitely just good to look up reviews. I know there's not that many on YouTube, but I know that with my pre-orders that I will hopefully receive next year sometime, who knows when, but I will probably do a kind of second part on those as well, just so I can kind of leave a bit more of a trail and leave more reviews, because I've noticed myself that there isn't actually very many I know that there's a lot of promoters that promote them and people who are really happy to hype them up, which is brilliant. I love to support small businesses, so it's another reason why I bought into it. I wanted to see for myself, because I knew that there was people who love them and people who absolutely hate the company. So I wanted to see for myself, if I ordered it, what am I going to get? So I'm going to purely say what I get and some of the things that I see, but most of my opinion lies in what I get. So yeah, before I go off on another tangent, it's hit and miss. I'm pretty happy with what I have and what I've received. There is not 10 out of 10, it's not bad, but it definitely could be better, especially for the price that you're paying. But as an ending note, I'd definitely just say make sure you're well informed when you order from somewhere. Not to say this company is bad, I quite like their designs, I enjoy what I get from them, but I definitely say just make sure that you're well informed and you keep up to date on what's going on. So I'm going to end it here because I can't stop talking. So if this review is a bit of a mess, don't be mad at me. This is the first one I've done. It's taken quarantine to actually kick my own butt and get me into gear on filming things that people have asked for a while. So here we are. But yeah, I'll end that here. Thank you for watching and bye.